In the time it takes to finish one stiff drink, we're going to figure out what gives Kaci Rankins the right to talk about video production, we're going to swap some stories about producing film, and we're going to figure out if alcohol makes you better at tongue twisters. So stick around and enjoy this episode of The Boondock Perspective,
where class is optional.
It's yet another carefree Maine evening, and you're listening to The Boondock Perspective, your real northern backwoods podcast. Joined tonight by my special guest, Kaci Rankins. Want to give us a little bit of background about yourself, just so the people at home know what the hell you're here for?
Sure. So my name's Kaci Rankins, and I just graduated from NESCOM in video production. And
New England School of Communications.
New England School of Communications at Hudson University. I had a wonderful opportunity to work on the musical. It was a short film that NESCOM puts on every year. We submitted a script. It was a musical. It was submitted, and they said, you know what, it's going to be really tough, but we think you guys can do it. So we did that, and that was basically my entire senior year. So
my whole senior year.
Yeah. So now we're here, and we're going to talk a little bit about it and some other stuff too, I guess. Or just...
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was there. I was at your premiere at the Gracie, and it was impressive. You guys pulled off something that I think nobody thought could be pulled off.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We were told numerous times that, maybe we should do something else or just do like a regular talkie and whatnot. So quite a few people said, you know what, I don't think you guys can pull this off. Maybe do something a little small, dream a little smaller. And so that gave us more motivation just to go, you know what, we're going to prove you wrong.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You have more in common with me than I initially thought.
Yeah. So
a lot of my projects are out of spite. So.
I mean, that's the great motivator, though, like proving someone wrong, saying like I did do it despite, So yeah, we basically, it was a group of us, myself, Joe Lambert, and Nick Danforth, and Naomi. We're all sitting in a dorm room, kind of chatting about what can we do, what type of message do you want to get across to the audience, and so we had some trouble brainstorming some ideas, and I kind of made the comment like, you know what, instead of coming up with this new fabricated idea, let's dive in and figure out what's important to each of us. And so for me, I would ask, students, as my first year at college, I would ask upperclassmen, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, what's your dreams and your ambitions? And then they would tell me, what they wanted to do, their dreams. And then I would ask them what their major is, and it wasn't connected. It was two different things. And so I was just like, why is that? Why aren't you not going for what you just said your dreams were? And I mean, their reasoning was that, it's not, you're not going to get a job in that type of field or whatever it is they were wanting to do. It's not going to make enough money and stuff like that. So there was all these, I don't want to say excuses, but reasons for why they weren't going for it. And that didn't sit well with me. And so I wanted to incorporate that into the film to show that, your dreams are worth that risk and you should go for it. And so that was one perspective that we added in. And then Naomi had a cultural one where she wasn't really sure about her culture, and college was kind of that outlet for her to find out like who she was about and all that. And so that is an element in the musical itself. And then Joe had one too, as far as like following his dreams. And so from there, we kind of pieced together the script. It was a really crappy first script, let me tell you. It was terrible. And so we sent it out to people. And one person we sent it out to was David Jennings. And he read it over. He liked it. He was like, I have some comments. So let me take he took I think it was just a few days. And he submitted an entire new script from the comments from the original that we had. And we were just expecting like little comments here and there. And so we read it over and we absolutely loved it. Like, it took all of our ideas and concepts that we had, that we thought we had originally in the first one, and then it wasn't there, and he brought it all together.
Just capitalized on all of your...
Yeah, he did, and he articulated it so beautifully, and it was just like, we knew right from there that this is going to be good. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll officially start this conversation in a minute.
Okay.
But first, for us to officially decide whether or not a stiff drink of alcohol makes you better at tongue twisters, we need a control study.
Okay.
Okay.
hope.
So I've got a list of tongue twisters here, and I want you to read number 21. This is blind, by the way. He's never seen this before.
This is
and
true.
just see how far you can get.
Number 21. Oh my goodness.
Go for it.
Oh God. To sit. Oh, it's moving on me. Stop moving. Okay. To sit in the. No, it's gonna be so bad.
Wow, you're not doing that great.
Halfway through my
I
drink.
don't think there's any way you could be worse right now.
To sit in a sullen silence of in a dull, dark dock, in a oh my Jesus, with a lifelong lock awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap, chippy chopper on a big black block. That could have been really bad. The big black block. Oh, I lost my spot. From a cheap and choppy chopper on a big black block, a dull, dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short, sharp shock, a big black block.
It seems very repetitive.
To sit in the solemn silence, waiting the sensation from a cheap and chippy chop on a big black block. That was terrible. Wow. I don't even know if I read that. Like, no.
To sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock in a presidential prison with a lifelong lock.
Yeah, see, that's not even normal.
For some reason, I
No.
can cold read really well. I would be a good news anchor because I don't know what I'm reading.
No.
Second read, I'm done for. So let's take note of where you landed there.
Not very well.
With a lot of blah, blah, blahs, ums, and holy Jesus. And we will put this on the side and we'll address it at the end and see if you do any better.
All right. I don't know if I do any better than that, but that was pretty bad.
So you had a really cool, motivated team of people behind you to do your musical. And I was at the premiere, and I was watching all of you on stage, and you were all, I think, a year, maybe a year and a half, 2 years behind me when I graduated there. Yeah. And I watched you all kind of come up and evolve into your own person and pursue your own passions. Yeah. And that was one thing that I found was really cool is because not only did all of your passions come out, like it was so clear that you guys were super passionate about this, but you worked together to make one mutual passion that satisfied all of your goals. Yep. And that is insane. And you talked on stage. You were the first person to speak. And everything you said for the first 5 minutes made me tear up more than the friggin' musical made me tear up and resonated with me in a real just in the heart
way. And I must say, for me to get up there, first of all, I was not planning on losing my crap and actually crying on stage. I've never done that my entire life, and so for me it was a shock. So I was standing up there and I was like, oh yeah, I got this. This is good. And then all of a sudden it was this wave of emotion just came crashing in.
It hits you,
and I'm just like, oh, God, what's happening? So, and it was, like I said, it was very foreign to me. If I'm going to be sad or cry or whatever, I'm usually the type of person who, does it alone. And if someone comes in, I leave. And so for me to stand up there and then
200 people.
200 plus people was interesting. So
you did a really good, you gave a really good speech, and you specifically spoke about your father.
Yeah,
how and so instilled these values into you. That was just it was hitting me in the heart.
That was the big thing for us. Was the slogan read, "Anything good in life is worth working hard for." And my father was the one who initially taught me that when I was about 7 years old, when I first got adopted. And that was one of the first things he said. My past was my past. It has, and so. When I got adopted, it was this new chapter in my life, new family. And that was the first thing he ever said to me. And that has stayed with me ever since. It was just and I look back over my life and I've realized not only has that stayed with me, but it's been so true. Any trouble or tribulations I've gone through, it's because I worked hard to get through it because it was the right thing and it was good. And then therefore something good came out of it. And so that was our motto for this entire film, which is that anything good in life is worth working hard for, and we definitely had to work hard for it because there was something new and challenging, and at every corner, every time we thought we were, ahead, we got set back 2 or 3 steps, and it was just we definitely had to battle some huge battles, but we kept working at it. Failure was not an option, and we knew it was something good. We knew it was an awesome message, and we knew that people would love it. So it was just a matter of connecting the dots in the middle. So,
excellent way to put it. So how many students were involved total? Because there was videography and there was audio.
Yeah. So if you include just the video side, like first, that was anywhere on our biggest day.
That's script writing to behind the camera, helping out.
Script writing to lighting to stage setting to all of it. And from like on our biggest set, I think we had anywhere from like 35 to 40 people, just crew working. And then
on one set.
Yeah, on one. So that was moving day. That was our biggest, most like complex scene because we had so many things going and happening all at once. And so then you add audio in there, and then you had our talent, and then our advisors kind of stepped in here and there. So we had, like, I would say probably 45 people on that day on their biggest set.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts. And when you're the person that everyone's going to, for questions and stuff, so you got to really be in tune. Like, you got to know what's going on, and so you can get people the right answers. So
yeah. And from an audio perspective, how many?
Audio,
5, 10?
Audio was, we had, I think, 2 or 3 boom operators, and then 1 essential audio mixer guy.
Yeah, because I asked because it's essential because this was a student project.
Yes.
Partially funded by the school. With I say partially.
They pay for some stuff, yes.
Yeah. But they allowed you to use their gear, their resources. It's definitely approved for the
valuable.
school. Yep. So there's this whole group of people working toward this one goal for video. And that's how it's always been. It's famously been a video student project. Yes. And this year you decided to do the impossible and make a musical, which incorporates a whole other category of the friggin' school.
Yeah, it's a beast. And
because the audio has to be perfect. The music has to be made. Yeah, the lines have to be redone.
Yep. Yep. And our initial goal at first was to have the on-set audio be, good enough to use as the final piece. But there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of variables, and it didn't really work out that well. So we definitely had to go in and do ADR.
Automatic dialogue replacement, yeah.
Yeah. And so...
Nothing automatic about it.
No, very meticulous and very just time-consuming.
You have to go match people's lips and make sure that...
Scene by scene, word by word, and just continue in that way. And but give credit to our amazing crew and our talent. They were on board, and when we asked them, we had to go rescheduled. We told everyone at the beginning it was going to be 8 weeks, like 8 shoot days on the weekends, Saturdays, and then plus 1 Sunday. And then after, we told our talent that we had to do ADR, but they were all for it. They were like, just let us know when, and we'll show up. And they showed up, and they knocked it out of the park. It was incredible to see, like, just the talent be so involved and so invested. And then our audio guy, Aaron, hands down, was the savior of our audio. He was the man. And so he did every session, and it was just a huge asset to that. So.
He said 3,000 takes? Well, I can't remember the number. Was it
for altogether, or are you saying for like one particular part? Because there was one part where we had at least 150 individual takes for 1 word, for 3 words, and that was the phrase was "I love you," right? That was all we needed, but it was just the way it was being delivered and the environment and all that, having to match the environment was difficult. So yeah, that took.
There's just so much that goes into it.
There was, yeah,
stuff I don't hear.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. It's just like it's one of those, when it's not quite right, but when it is, you hear it and it's like, yeah, that's it. But if you had to explain what it is that needs to be done, you're right. Yeah. So that's why Aaron was such a monumental piece to that, because he knew what the sound was what it should sound like, and he got it there.
Yeah. So a biggest reason I'm fascinated with this whole project that you produced from the ground up, yes, right, is because I did something very similar in school. Me and my I won't say business partner now, but at the time we were just friends. Yeah. We said, hey, we should just do something. What do you want to do? I don't know, something. And next thing you know, we made a 45-minute thriller film. And for us, unfortunately, we really weren't able to get school help.
Right.
We didn't get any funding. Teachers really weren't that helpful with us. Right. We were able to get gear, but there wasn't that much. But from one of the things that I value the most about the musical, we haven't even said its name yet. When the Music Changes.
When the Music Changes.
How have we not said its name yet? When the Music Changes.
When the Music Changes, yes, sir.
You can find it on Facebook. Is from a production standpoint and from an appearance standpoint, from a visual standpoint, exemplary. So good. I was watching that film and I'm just like, that had to fall together perfectly. That had to fall together perfectly. That wouldn't have happened if it was this day of the week. That had to happen perfectly. And I'm just seeing all these things. And I, as a producer, find that so cool. Because when we produced mine, we shot straight for 16 straight days. Our entire schedule, budget, everything was figured out before we ever got to set. And then my job as a producer was done before we started recording. And then everything had to just fall into where it was supposed to fall. Yeah. You guys, I don't know did you guys have that luxury? Because it looked like you guys were kind of filming on the fly. You had a semester, right? So you're scheduling as you were going.
So we had an outline of what we need to get done and what we're looking at for time. So that's how we told everyone in the beginning. Because one of the big reasons we were so successful is people knew, when to show up, how long they were going to, roughly how long they were going to be there. And what they were going to be doing that day. That was critical. So we had an essential team of 6 or 7 of us, who were piecing everything together. So when it came for shoot days, our crew was ready. We had a handout. We told them they could refer back to it. This is what we're shooting. This is kind of the length of what we're looking at, and just a schedule and outline for that day. And they knew that Saturdays for the next 8 weeks was going to be the day that we were going to be doing it. And so
it looked like you had a relatively good schedule.
Yeah. So they were prepared, and so we knew what we were going to shoot also. So we would kind of prep for that before, but it was difficult because there were a lot of times when the day before we were up until 4 o'clock just finalizing those details and making sure that we had everything, and then having to get up at 6 o'clock to make sure everything gets prepared, and then put a smile on your face and go work a 13-hour day. So, but so we were prepared as far as what we wanted, but there's a lot of different elements working that kind of changed things up. So we had to, I wouldn't say quite on the fly, but we were very flexible. With different things, yeah. So.
Yep. We, I think the biggest challenge that I faced through 16, 17 months of production on my film was the end. When you had to stand in front of people you went to school with, were in class with, learned the same stuff with, and valued the same techniques with, and you had to show 200 people who were going to be the most critical people you've ever met in your life.
Yep, and everyone has an opinion.
And everyone's got an opinion.
Yep.
And everybody is going to criticize.
Yep.
And even when they have nice things to say, they're backhanded.
Yep.
Because they all know what you went through. How did you deal with that? I didn't deal with it well. Honestly, I was drunk. I showed up my premiere, and we finished. Yeah. We showed it. We did our practice run. We're like, all right, go to my car. And it was, I popped, I had a small little flask in the back just to calm my nerves. I mean, I shouldn't say I was drunk, but I had to calm my nerves.
Because, it's a big moment, too, because, you're aware of this, you started off with this idea, right? And then it was just, at first, just a couple of you working on it. And then it grew and grew and grew. And then, it's like your child that's growing up through life. And then all of a sudden, you're presenting that child to the world. And then you're sitting behind the child watching and just, listening to everyone say, this and that about your baby. And so it's hard to take all that in. But for us, we had a really, really good feedback. And so, the nerve-wracking part was just, of course, are people going to like it? Are they going to understand it? Is it going to resonate with them? And
At the least, it definitely resonated.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody in there that couldn't have stuck with.
And the
Great
feedback,
message.
the feedback was a lot better than I expected. It was people had really generally good things to say about it, and I mean there were some couple of things like, you know, this could have been done differently and whatnot, but it's all he says, like, you know, sure, yes, if we had more time, if we had this and that, we could have. But at the end of the day, the product spoke for itself, and the people that worked on it knew, you know, how much they put into it. They were proud of it, and so when you have something that you can say you are proud of, it kind of helps to know that it doesn't really matter what anyone else kind of thinks. And one of the things that we said along the way was like, if someone was really going to like kill us on something, like this is bad, this, or just completely tear it down, our response would be, you know what, you're right. Let me see your film and see what you did.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, you don't have one.
Exactly.
Shut up.
Somebody said it. Somebody said it.
So, but that was, like I said, at the end of the day, we had such a phenomenal team, and they were all just contributing and pouring their heart and soul. And so that was a great thing. Everybody wanted it to be good. And so when everyone is working towards that same common goal, you're going to have something pretty cool at the end of it. So.
Yeah. I was talking to TJ Rogers a couple weeks ago. And
I love TJ.
He's great dude,
Yeah,
man.
awesome guy. He helped out. He was great.
He helps out with anything.
I know.
He was talking to me, but the subject was failure,
Yeah.
and just like how do you overcome these obstacles, and at the end of the day, no matter what people say, as long as you went from start to finish and whatever you have came to fruition, there's
Right.
no way it's a failure.
Right.
You overcame so many odds and so much probably hate and jealousy and envy along the way that you were just able to be like, hey man, we're doing something pretty cool, and I don't care at the end of the day what it comes out with. The fact that we were able to pull something off,
Yeah,
is incredible.
It was very rewarding for us because it was something new. It was a musical. It hasn't been done before at NESCOM, and we knew that. We knew the challenges were going to come with it. But like I said, it was the team. We picked the right people, and the right people came on. And if anyone was in a different position, or if we had any other different people, it wouldn't have worked out the way it did. And we were, like I said, we were just so blessed with the crew and the people that were helping, and then the people behind the scenes that were kind of silently helping. They were monumental too, because we faced some huge challenges. Then there were days where it was just like so overwhelming, where you're thinking, oh my God, you know, did we bite off more than we can chew? Is this gonna happen? And so you start doubting a little bit, but then you have your team who you get to see every day and see their passions, and you just kind of fall back on that and know that this project is bigger than any one person, and together it can be done. And so it kind of takes a little bit of stress off you a little bit, because you know you have other people to lean on. And that was what we did. We leaned on each other when we needed to, and we got to work when we needed to.
To work.
Yeah. So
Cool. That's really cool. When the music changes, on your T-shirt, right?
Yes.
When the music changes,
yeah.
anything in life,
Anything good in life is worth working hard for.
anything good in life is worth working hard for.
Yes.
Back of the shirt.
Yeah. We had crew on the back, and then we had
No, I was gonna say like we worked for it. We worked for it. Like you needed a good.
We did.
I wasn't saying list everybody. Just you need a good shirt.
Yeah. I was like, we had a T-shirt. That's why I wasn't sure.
Sorry,
And
I just confused everyone.
And it said when the music changes, and then in the front of it, and so I thought you meant like what was on the back. But yeah, that was one of the things we got T-shirts for the entire crew.
Yeah,
just
that's
say
so good.
Just to say something, because
You're not getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. Like people showed up at college students showed up at 6 o'clock in the morning to work 13+ hour days for free, and it was just like, how do you say thank you to that? How do you like show your gratitude to that? And it's just so, and without a budget.
Yeah.
So my dad actually owns a embroidery shop, BPH Apparel.
You snuck by me. Episode sponsored by B&B Apparel, apparently.
He gave us an incredible deal to give back to our crew and cast, and that was something I really enjoyed. So, yeah.
You were all wearing those bright yellow shirts.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It
was
was
pretty cool.
It was part of the team camaraderie and just
Camaraderie.
Yeah.
Yep.
People knew that, this is something that we really loved and we were all passionate about it. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm going to take a minute and we'll pick up the conversation in a minute, but I want to throw a quick sponsorship out to Wicked Motor Network. They do some really cool stuff. Have you seen any of their stuff on YouTube?
I have.
Facebook?
It's incredible.
Holy.
Yeah. The editing is phenomenal too.
So there are these two guys, Truman Forbes and Cody Chasson, and they go out with these incredible cameras, and they go photograph and video these high-end, like Lamborghinis,
beautiful.
Ferraris, Bugattis. Like if you
dream cars right there.
yeah, dream cars. Yeah, Nissan Z. Like they're doing all kinds of really cool stuff. And they go out and they're going to Boston to every car show, and they're going to every car show in New England and Rhode Island, and they're trying to check out and film as much as they can with these cool stuff. So if you like cars, man, you got to check out the YouTube channel, Wicked Motor Network. You can find them on Facebook too. They've got some really cool stuff, and they've now dipped into like really intense ultimate terrain vehicle races, like like mud racing in ATVs, except they're jacked up and they got roll cages on them, and they got these slow motion mud coming at you and these beautiful aerial shots of the woods, or if they're in Boston, of all of the cars in the line, or a couple really beautiful sports cars climbing Mount Washington. Like they're worth a check out. If you're a car guy, I recommend going over there and checking out their stuff. So, speaking of really cool YouTube channels, when do we get to see the musical? Is it going to be free anywhere?
So
where can I buy it?
Right now, we are in the process. We just completed our capital campaign for festivals. Our co-producer, Holly Goddard, she's been amazing throughout this entire process, and her story, and it's just absolutely amazing. So after we all graduated, she was the one that was kind of like keeping the attention on the musical, making sure we were still relevant. And so right now we're doing that. We're submitting to festivals, so we can't show it anywhere right now publicly. So that's
why is that?
Because some of the rules for the festivals say that it can't be seen publicly until after the festival. So those festivals rules were very strict.
And I think you're in a weird group of length.
Yeah.
Half length is a very weird category.
Yeah, we're 35 with credits and everything. And so, we have to be very careful about how we distributed it and what we can do with it right now anyway. After everything's said and done with the festivals, and hopefully we win some awards, that would be kind of cool.
I definitely deserve them.
And so after that, then we'll discuss like distribution and stuff like that. Well, YouTube will probably be our first platform, our Facebook channel and all that. And then our symphony orchestra guy from France, Bruno,
who's this guy?
So Bruno is our symphony orchestra. So in the beginning, I wrote all the songs as far as like the melodies and the lyrics and stuff. Some collaboration with Greg Winningham, another awesome guy. He was actually one of our actors too. And so, but with the music, we wanted the musical feel, which is symphony orchestra. It's like the Disney big band greatness. And so I found this guy overseas named Bruno who does it digitally. And I was very skeptical at first because I wanted the real feel of a symphony orchestra. I didn't want any type of digital stuff. And then I started pricing out. So the real symphony orchestras, they're very expensive. And so I went to YouTube and just started searching local, bands here and there. And then I came across his site and I started listening to his piece. And I thought, oh, this is like a real band and everything. I wonder, to inquire about them. And then I realized that they were a digital band. It was one guy who was making all of it. And so he's overseas. He does it professionally. He does big movies in France all the time and very, very busy guy. And so I was like, let's just shoot an email, see what happens. So I sent the email out to him. The next day I got a response. And it was a very lengthy email. I knew I was going for it. It was going to be one of those Hail Marys. He was either going to stick or not. And so I wrote out this really lengthy email explaining our passions and why we wanted to do it and the message I wanted to share with people. And he resonated with it. And he was like, this is awesome. I definitely want to help, and I'm going to do so for free. And so I was like, that says free, right? Not a fee. So big difference.
You just got auto-corrected and got screwed.
Right. And it was for free. And the pieces he did were beautiful, beautiful. So people have been asking for soundtracks. But
yeah, specifically me.
Yeah.
Yep.
But because of the rights that he owns and the rights that we own with the music, and the fact that it's a student production, so there's no profit can be made from it ever because of the deals and whatnot that we set forth, and it's a school project and stuff like that. So we have to go about it very carefully as far as we just can't print off disc with soundtrack on it because we don't own the symphony part. So we're talking with him right now, and we'll see how he feels about it. As long as we're not making any profits, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get like soundtracks and stuff and then DVDs. So
That'd be excellent. There's you said there was a guy named Greg working for you.
Greg Winningham.
Who's his character?
He was Professor V.
Yes.
Yes.
He has a incredible voice.
Yes, he was amazing.
Yeah, he started singing, and I was in the back row because I was way underdressed. By the way, I came out of work. No one told me it was black tie. I show up in a black polo and ripped jeans, and so I was kind of cowering in the back. And I'm watching. I mean, all the songs were good. I'm not trying to bash on anybody, right. But he starts singing, and it kind of hit me real quick. I'm just like,
yes,
that's legit. Like, holy crap, this guy's good.
He was phenomenal, and
I was hoping for more songs.
Yeah,
but whatever. He was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to work with him. He's a super, super nice guy, so talented, and he was one that I collaborated with on some of the songs and the lyrics and stuff. And so he really just brought everything to the next level.
It's so good to have that.
It was awesome. So
yeah, it's so good to have that.
And his band's amazing too. So, but
yeah, cool.
Yeah,
excellent. It's nice to see stuff come out of school. You know, it's especially when you consider the student film before you that never saw the light of day.
Right.
You know, not to name names, not to put any blame on anybody, right. But things went wrong. Yep. Things always go wrong.
They do.
But sometimes it doesn't work out.
Right. And all the hard work that they put in and everything was, so
it's unfortunate. So it's really nice to just to blow out that negative thing and just basically erase it. I think you just erased every negative, everything that never came to fruition. Whatever it was, student project, just me as a senior not submitting a final, whatever it would have been, you just blew all of those out of the water.
We were trying to definitely, in the beginning, we wanted to set a tone and say that, kind of just represent what NESCOM can do. And what those past films have done is just things didn't quite work out, but the talent was there, the effort was there. And so we wanted to highlight that and show that, it is here, this is real. And this school stands for something, and it's a force to be reckoned with. And so that was definitely our goal, was to show the world and to show the faculty that students are here and we're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I'll be damned if you didn't do it, man. You did a really good job. All of you did. You, Joe, Holly, Naomi, David, Daniel Sinclair, with the director of photography, fantastic.
Daniel, Avery, Alex.
Name them all, man, because I can't name them all. I think a really large portion of the reason why that was successful is the same reason that the previous one wasn't. Hear me out.
Yep.
Student project in a class.
Yep.
Pushed together to do something. You had already planned on it. You took that class intentionally together to create this. Or am I incorrect to say that?
Half and half. Yes. So, initially it wasn't a class. It was just a group of us doing it together. So we had a list of people who we wanted to pursue and say, hey, would you like to do this? And each person that we pursued, once we said it was a musical, they got more excited. So that's how we knew we were on the right track. But yeah, initially it wasn't an actual school class or anything like that. And then it did develop into an independent study. So students who were already working on it who wanted that credit, so that way they didn't have to juggle another class or another like a class. This was extra
Another aggressive film class,
they could replace it with this film, and so some of them did that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. But it definitely it definitely demanded a lot out of everyone. So
then I think I'll take back that statement and I'll say that I think the reason yours was successful is the same reason mine was successful also, is because you got to choose who you worked with. You made sure you had great communication, you had a good bond with everyone, morals were high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You were very, very close-knit. Rather than getting thrown into a class with a bunch of random people and being forced to work with, and not necessarily people you don't like, but people that conflict or there's too many cooks in the kitchen. You know, I think you guys had a really good mix of respect and communication between all of you, and which is all it takes for something to be
nailed
successful.
It was respect. That was the grease that held everything together. Is that right? Grease makes things loose, doesn't it?
It's not lube. I was gonna say lube, but that's not right.
Anyway, it was the key element. It's like we all knew that the glue. There we go. That holds things together. Anyway, I don't have my editors here. You know. Anyway, but the fact that everyone wanted to be there. That's what it's about, and we all respected each other, and we knew at the end of the day that the most important thing wasn't the film. It was our friendships, the bonds we had, the experience we were going through and building together. And so, like, when we had conflicts, we did. We hit our we had our conflicts as far as like ideas and direction. And when we saw that someone else was so passionate about one particular thing, and maybe we didn't share that same passion, but the fact that we saw that they were really passionate about it made us think, you know what? They're really passionate about it. They only want this to succeed. So let's go this route and just see how things work out. And there was a lot of that back and forth. So we all kind of sacrificed, worked things out. But at the end of the day, it definitely worked out for us. So we just knew that the most important thing was our friendship. So we weren't gonna, do something that was gonna say, blah 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 blah.
Nothing that would jeopardize.
Right. Yeah. So we definitely respected each other, and we knew that friendship was number one, and that this film was bigger than any one of us. Mm-hmm. So
that's great. I strongly encourage anybody to go check out the Facebook and or Google,
Absolutely. When
YouTube,
the music
the trailer.
changes at Facebook.
Yeah, you want to plug that again? Just so I want people to find it.
When the music changes, Facebook. Just search it on Facebook; it'll pop right up. So
yeah, YouTube trailer or just Facebook trailer.
We have it both, YouTube and the trailer. Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
but there's a link right from the Facebook page.
Yeah, it's a great trailer. So cool. Yeah, go check that out.
Teaser. Yeah.
Yeah. As I finish my drink, I still got a little bit left in there, but you can finish yours if you want. Yeah. I'll talk.
Oh God, I'll do that.
we've got to finish the game. Does consuming one stiff drink of alcohol increase your skill level when performing weirdly specific things? #, we don't condone the use of alcohol for the purpose of self-improvement. Isn't that a long title? That's a pretty good title, right? So we got to give you a tongue twister.
Okay.
Because the last one went so well, I'm just gonna go with it again, and we'll see if you do better.
All right, let me just finish this.
Let me just pound this.
There you go.
All right, ready?
Let's see. All right. To sit in the solemn silence of a dull, dark. Oh God, here we go. In isolation prison, while a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block, to sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock.
I think I'm giving it to you.
While, yeah,
it's going a heck of a lot better than last time.
Right.
You want to put that on apparently? Just stick it right on the left side there, because that means yes.
Yes, sir.
That means yes in Ethanish. Ethanese.
I mean, I don't finish that, right? That's
apparently, a glass of alcohol makes you better at tongue twisters.
Yeah.
#, we don't condone the use of alcohol for the purpose of self-improvement.
Oh, beautiful. That's awesome.
Right. Yeah, it was nice talking to you, man. I'm really happy with this. I really hope you do well with that, and good luck in the festivals.
Thank you.
Be sure to check out the Boondock Perspective on Facebook and YouTube and SoundCloud. We post for free on SoundCloud and YouTube, so you can check out all our previous episodes there. I strongly recommend you you download them and listen to them in the car while you're doing dishes, you know, grooming the cat. I don't know if that's a thing, but listen to it while you do that. And like us on all of those platforms. I don't think you'll be disappointed. We have a lot of really cool content coming out. So, and for more people like Kaci, I mean, he's a pretty cool dude. So I think we'll all be in good shape.
Cool beans. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me on. And just a shout out to the wonderful cast and crew of When the Music Changes. Thank you so much for everything you've done, and it's much appreciated. I love you guys.